The US is the most controversial country ever, other than North Korea and Russia, China, and so on. Anyway, the US has been the topic for like decades now, especially if we're speaking economics, politics, most definitely, in everybody's lives, and whatever decision they make in there, it will affect you in your home country regardless of where you live because of the US dollar and how it is linked to every country around the world and how that affects everyone and everything. Even if your decision is to ignore that the US exists or accept that the US exists or not care that the US exists, their decision will most definitely impact you regardless of where you live. Be it politics, be it science, be it health, be it money, be it whatever, right? So, and it got me thinking, like, what is the vision and the idea about of what the people out that are living outside of the USA are having about the US as a country and the US as people? Now, from my point of view, since I've been following whatever the US has been doing and whatever has been happening in there, or whatever have been happening in there since like 2015, since I was literally 15 years old, and I'm about to turn 25, so nearly a decade from my life, and I got even influenced by many things. I got disappointed by many things, and so on. I noticed many key points that annoy me all the time about the US. First of all, and trust me, this is how a lot of outsiders see the country. And don't blame the people. I'm not blaming you watching this from the USA and being like, your country's ass. No, it's most definitely not. Apparently, it is the most powerful country in many, many subjects and many industries. It is not the people to blame, it is who is in control to blame. And this is what blew my mind for the past 2 years since I've been doing a lot of research about that. And I noticed that the US is a whole business. The US is not a country. The US is not. The US is one whole corporation, just divided into multiple names. Because in any way, all of these corporations that own everything in the US are owned by the same people. So they just diverse it to give you the illusion that you actually have choice, while you most definitely do not have choice. Even in their elections, they have only two parties. But at the same time, if you have only two parties in the whole country, that means you do not have anybody else to vote for, any other party to vote for. So they give you that illusion that you actually have choice, while they give you only two to choose from, which is just a little bit far away from what Russia, China, and North Korea are doing. Again, it's just an illusion. And they are, sadly, for me at least, the most heavily invested country in racism and whatever is related to it. And of course, I know that unfortunately the most diverse countries have the most racism. I live in one right now. I understand the hustle. I understand the struggles. All right? Everyone is racist to everybody because it is the most diverse land, right? And in the US, it is a bit different. They just capitalize over that too much that it is literally the main topic of everybody else. Like, for example, I can go outside, do business with someone, right? Go have coffee with someone, come back home, life is good. But in the US, for example, I'm not saying everyone, most people are very heavily invested into racism that they do it unintentionally, and it becomes like your pattern recognition stuff. And whenever you sit down and be like, I want to do business with this guy, but wait, he's black, wait, he's white, blacks are not to trust, whites are not to trust, this are not to trust, like, come on. And it doesn't make me, because I was thinking about coming to the US many years ago, and I was considering it 2 years ago to be specific, until I see what's in the content out there, and you know, whatever is pushed from the content is literally what's happening in there. And I noticed, especially when you see the comments and what kind of content is being put out, once one thing goes big, everyone starts following that thing only, and everyone starts adopting that mentality. So it becomes a whole wide range ideology that everyone is adopting, and then you all become like bloody robots. Like, oh yeah, 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 this, yeah, yeah, and you repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. Now, I said bloody, right? I'm not in the UK, I'm not from the UK, alright? It's just some slang. Whatever, because I had a lot of misconceptions about that. I just don't want to cuss in this video respectfully and out of respect to the US people that are going to be watching this video. I don't want to cuss. Anyway, this is the first thing that comes to mind. The second thing that comes to mind is how the US is like a whole business, as I mentioned, and they are trying to capitalize over everything that is happening. So there is no authenticity anymore in anything that's being done in the US, regardless if it is products, if it is companies, if it is content, if it is ideologies, if it is scientific research, if it is military research, if it is whatever. It's money oriented. It lacks authenticity. It lacks that main how can I even explain that? That main sauce, or that main like spice that makes it actually interesting for others, that makes it interesting for everyone in the country. Like there are how many, like nearly 400 million, I guess, I'm not sure, but between 350 and 400, I believe, I assume. So it becomes like it nothing is authentic anymore. Everyone is there making stuff for a quick cash grab, and that is why it is the only country in the world where if you are 15 or 50, you still can become a millionaire somehow. It is good opportunity, of course. It lacks authenticity though, because if everyone is money oriented, that means everyone is looking for other people's pockets, and if that happens, it becomes inhuman. And it is most definitely an inhuman country. Like, everyone is complaining about the health side of things, about how the health industry is just blown to pieces, how the health industry is just disgusting. To be able to afford insurance, you need to be at a very like high income, whatever, to be able to afford that. And if you do not afford it, they put you through a hospital, and then for fever you need to pay like $50,000 for that, and then you are in debt for like 5-6 years, or even if you can pay it, you're in debt for literally your whole life. And while seeing these things, I mean, I know if I'm telling you that this is all a monopoly business model, of course you already know if you are from the US or even outside of the US and you know about this information. It's not going to be new to you, like, oh wow, that's some new invention. No, or like new discovery. No, it is well known. It is what it is, right? Why though? We understand, I mean, as an outsider, I understand the investments or the heavy investment in military. I understand the heavy investments in research, in space, in whatever they're making. Why touch people's health though? Like, we understand that the people are also businesses. Like we are walking wallets. So, and whenever you walk outside, even in walk outside in your home right now, we have many things, right? And we have a phone and we have the internet, most specifically the internet. And however you scroll that and you browse that, everything is trying to get money out of you. So it becomes unauthentic. It lacks authenticity. And authenticity is what people are looking for right now. Whatever project it is, whatever, even, unfortunately, even NGOs in the US, and surprisingly, or actually not surprisingly, most commonly all around the world are just money laundering non-profit organizations. That's not new. That's well known. So it becomes a little bit strange. It becomes like a place where you either hustle your whole life, and in any way you have no security later on. So if you lose your job, bye bye. If you keep your job, then you're, especially if you don't like it, then you're just screwed. And if you want to make a business by yourself, or if you want to be self-employed, or you want to be whatever, you have no insurance, have no security, basically. Not insurance. We're not calling it insurance. We're calling it security. And if I am wrong, please just, with a grain of salt, just explain to me in the comments which points I am wrong at and what is the right idea about it. The only thing that I love about the US is the opportunities that it offers because, trust me, I am 100% with the fact that doing business in the US is way better than doing business in Europe or doing business in Africa or in Asia. It's just way better. But why though? Because once you create something, everyone is looking for that quick cash grab. Hence, everything that happens after it, or like the domino effect that happens after it. In Europe, nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. You make a business, fine. If we love it, okay, we love it. That's about it. Even if I am, let's say, a businessman, a very wealthy businessman, if I do not want to make more money and I'm fine with what I make, I wouldn't care about your business, even if I know it's gonna make me, let's say, 10 million in 2 years. No, this has authenticity. So here, if people put money with you, you feel like, yes, these people are actually trusting what I'm doing. In the US, everybody will just throw their money on you because they are looking for that joker card. They are looking for that jackpot just to make more and dip. And I, I don't know how to explain, I don't know how to put it into words. It just makes it very inhuman. It makes it very unprofessional. It makes it very, and everyone is, I call it all the time, it's like a random GTA server, especially New York, from what I've seen. And if I am wrong again, please correct me. It is just, everyone's trying to benefit from the other one way or the other. And it has like a mass brain rot epidemic right now, like literally huge, especially in the youth, especially in my generation and the youngest generation. And I can see that even older people are trying to capitalize over that, and they are just trying to find that quick push up, like the quickest push they can find. I might be wrong in all of these points. This is what I see, and I know for a fact that this is how many other people see, since I have conversation with too many people. And I noticed that this is a common thing, right? This is why people do not want to move to the US if they do not have any, especially financial security beforehand, like at least a few tens of thousands. Other than that, I mean, I see no point in moving there in any way. I'm not saying that I want to come there. No, no, no. For me, I'm chill. For anybody else that's thinking, and I know now the people who do not want a lot of foreigners to be in the country, they might, if this video somehow gets a lot of views, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, just stay in yours. I don't want to come to yours. Like, if I offended you, then that's your problem. It's not mine, because I'm most definitely having a friendly conversation right here, and just basically back and forth in my ideas, and that's about it. English is my third language, so you can just get that. All right. I might be wrong again. I might be right. Whatever. I might be in the middle. I might be in some things wrong and some things right. Please let me know. But I know and if you have any complaints about that, let's have a conversation in the comments, and let's see what can be done. Even if I don't believe anything can be done, regardless if any president goes there, because in any way the presidents are not the ones that make 100% of the decisions, unfortunately. And I mean, that's not just there, that's literally all around the world. It's like it should be very strategic, very this, very that, very professional, very political, most specifically, and very financial, which is my problem with it, I would say, for now. Anyway, what do you think? This is a random video that I just thought about right now while watching some YouTube videos about health, and it got me thinking, oh yeah, but without speaking about the obesity and the blah blah blah, and how it is linked with the pharma companies and the pharma monopoly, and how they make you sick on purpose to buy medicine. That's a whole different story. And it is, actually I can prove it though, if like, I am not used to make those kind of videos, and I've never done it ever before, and I'm not thinking that I will be doing it like anytime soon. Nonetheless, I can maybe try if that would be of interest, but I am sure that there are many people who would already have put videos like that out. And that is something that I actually love about the US, because you can say nearly whatever you want without being in any problems. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, the US or the culture made me do many things that I am doing right now. I got like influenced by it. I got even, I would say, what's the word? I got motivated to do many things that I'm doing, or that I have been doing for at least the past 5 years, 5 to 6 years, because of what's happening in the US, because I follow the culture, because I am heavily invested in, I am heavily interested in that, because of a lot of factors, because I watch a lot of people from there, and I can see like that spectrum of difference that is between this kind of people and this kind of people and this and that, but the topics are all the same. Why though? Like seriously, if somebody has any answer about that, I know it makes profit, but why divide people? Why? That's the question of the. I've never asked any question in any video, but this is very interesting. Why? I personally have no clue. That's why I'm asking. Anyway, that's about it.